Yesterday had a huge, great matchup there. We had Reason Gaming versus CiC Esports, one of the better best of threes we have seen in a long time. And once again, I recommend checking out those VODs if you haven't. But anyways, matches continue today, and looking forward to see what happens here with definitely some back-to-back good matchups as well. With that said, we're getting things kicked off here today. Reason Gaming, that same Reason Gaming team, they're actually going to be taking on Willowkeeper. Again, one of the newcomers to the Pro League as of Cycle 2. These guys were the top team in the amateur division, and thus earning their spot here in the Carnegie God of our Pro League. So looking forward to seeing what they're going to bring to the table against a very, very sound team, obviously, in Reason Gaming. With that said, once again, going to be joined by Mini Maggot here as my co-caster. Welcome back, Mini Maggot.
Hello, hello.
Good to be here.
Yeah,
Sunday now.
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to see Willowkeeper actually sort of playing in the Pro League. They're quite a close team. We used to sort of scrim against them all the time, and quite close to know their play as well. So it should be cool to see how they match up against other pros and stuff. So
yeah,
it should be interesting. Yeah,
so as you're saying, I mean, it sounds like you should have some decent insight here as far as these players and whatnot. And again, you can play them at least a couple times, if not more than that. So one of the big points that you brought up when we just we're talking about them yesterday. Was sounded like that these guys, they've been around for a while. I mean, they're a sound team. They got like a core group of members. They practice together. They play together a lot. You know, it's not like we're, say, like The Last of Us, where they got a lot of players that kind of just show up on any given day. It seems like these guys, they come here to play and know how to work together, sounds like.
Yeah, it's always those five. They've been five for like a while now, and they practice and scrim almost every single day. I remember whenever I used to call on Hon, Fusion's like saying, "Oh, scrim, scrim, scrim," and I'm like, "No, I don't really want to." But he is always scrimming. But yeah, and their team's really good though, and because they scrim so often, I have to admit their team play is really, really good. It sort of reminds me of actually some of like BMG plays, how like the TP ganks and just the whole coordination and communication with the team is just so strong because of how often they scrim and play together as a team. Yeah.
So, again, I really am excited to see what they're all about today. And actually, speaking of that, we're going to see them twice today because their follow-up match is actually going to be Willowkeeper versus The Last of Us, as we're just talking about them as well. So, going to be interesting to see, obviously, how it progresses into that as well. But we got the first series to worry about. Again, Reason Gaming, they're coming off a loss yesterday, unfortunately. But it was a very, very close series. They could have even won that series 2-0 if things worked out. But, again, it was a hell of a series overall, quite the grind. But they're back again today, now to play a Willowkeeper. Anyways, rambling on here, we got plenty of draft to talk about already. Off the bat, the initial bans, by the way, were Parasite, Chronos, Pebbles, Puppet Master. You had your Magmus into Rhapsody, Bubbles into Drunken, Torturer into Engineer. And then the other bands, Pestilence, Ravener, Swiftblade, Flux, Slither, Moon Queen, and then there's the Madman pick. So there you go, caught up right there. What stands out to you so far?
Well, first of all is the Parasite ban coming out from Fusion, and this sort of tells me, because I've sort of played against this team quite often, is they actually run the jungle Magmus. I know, I think Honcast have seen Zlap do or CiC play, where they pull the initial creep wave and farm the jungle, but it was actually Tree or Willowkeeper, which is the first team I've ever seen do it. Actually, when I was casting that match from CiC, where Zlap was pulling the jungle, I even mentioned that Willowkeeper was almost like the first team to do it. I don't know if CiC copied them or whatever, but all I know is that Willowkeeper was definitely a team that was very early in when they used to sort of run this almost jungle Magmus, and as they ban out the Parasite, obviously it's one of those heroes that can really screw that kind of strategy over. So blind banning it here is understandable. I think they're going to finish off with another carry. I know they used to like Swiftblade, but that's banned out here because they don't really like to run dual mid that much. They probably send the Suicide Madman, or even sort of Madman mid, and then send the Bubble Suicide, and then they normally like run the Magmus jungle, as I said before, and then have the torture. Have the Torture in the short lane support. I mean, they can easily run like the Magmus and Torture mid with like another support and run the Madman bottom. But if I know Willowkeeper, they're most likely going to run the jungle Magmus because they play and that's the that can be Suicide as well. But either way, I'm pretty sure they're going to run the jungle Magmus. Yeah.
All right, you see, I like this. Again, we got a newcomer team here at Willowkeeper. Again, we've casted these guys before. It's not like they're completely never been around. I mean, they have been around for a while. I know they've been Diamond for several cycles at least throughout Hunter Season 2, and I know we've covered them. But yeah, it is great. Seeing a team like this. Now we're going to know a lot more about them throughout these next 4 weeks here. And like we kind of talked about before, it's seeing not only a new team like this, but willing to try different things and see how it works out. So clearly they're doing that here, as you're mentioning with the Magnus strat.
Yes.
Of course. Why not, right?
was gonna say, like, they could definitely pick it up because the Tree actually they run a lot of early game sort of style of heroes like Magnus and the Bubbles, etc. And Vindicator is obviously quite good to punish that in the late game because the enemy team is so reliant on spells. But I'd like to see how Reason, now they're on the sort of full 5-man roster, how they're going to run Vindicator. Because obviously last game yesterday they had Zibby and so it should be. I'm hoping for a better game for Vindicator here.
Well, it really is funny because that's actually a great point to bring up right there again. Not only are they two different players from yesterday, as you mentioned, Xibby and Super KG were ringing yesterday. Today the brothers are back though, and Imbaboy and Zane, so obviously playing today. But yeah, Vindicator went 0-2 yesterday for these guys. So you look at it from that perspective on paper, it's like, why are they picking up this guy? But he was very good and obviously very impactful in his game. So it's hard to look at those stats and be like, oh, well, he's a bad hero because of that. So
yeah. Exactly, and also the games he did lose, though, they were so close to being in favour of Reason, though. Just maybe a few misplays in terms of item choices and just having 2 ringers as well. Like I said it before in the cast actually yesterday that, to be fair, the games that Reason played with the Vindicator, they obviously had 2 ringers as well, and for them to do so well with the Vindicator pick, it just sort of shows how strong the hero is, because even though they were playing with ringers and playing like one of the second best team in Hon, they were still doing very, very well and were close to taking like almost all 3 games Reason in the end. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, again, that's the other thing to kind of look at here, the players playing. And obviously, Imbaboy and Zane, you know, as good as it was to see Xibby and Super KG play yesterday, you know, definitely it seemed like they were working pretty well. Overall, it is nice to, you know, see Imbaboy and Zane back. Obviously, this is that core for Reason Gaming, and I'm sure they're going to do just fine with that said. Zane, a fantastic Suicide player, and obviously Imbaboy. Again, the point we were bringing up yesterday, you talk about diversity when it comes to playing heroes. This guy was second most diverse player in the cycle last cycle, and we're talking about a carry player here that played many different carries throughout the cycle. So definitely something kind of intriguing there, and this is another one of those cases here, obviously, with the Vindicator. So we will see, obviously, how it works for him in this time around. But yeah, I'm excited to see this Willow Keeper strat. I mean, you see who's playing what, so are you still under the impression that's...
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because whenever they run the jungle sort of the secondary support jungle, it's Root who always plays it, and Magnus, Root plays a fantastic Magnus. He normally obviously gets the portal key just from sort of taking the jungle. But the one thing to know, I remember when Zinc did use the sort of jungle strategy with the Behemoth, I mentioned actually in the cast as well that after all the creeps have died for the Behemoth, he can't really solo the jungle himself, whereas when Magnus gets like level 4 from the creeps, he can sort of sufficiently kill the jungle by himself without the assistance of the enemy creeps, if that makes any sense, because of the volcanic touch, whereas he has that passive and the AoE ability to farm the jungle, whereas Behemoth didn't, and this is why I prefer sort of the Magnus instead of, say, the farming of Behemoth in the jungle.
Yeah. You know, so I was getting so caught up with talking about the Vindicator and talking about this Magnus, but we have Fade over here on Reason Gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not a hero we see nowadays. And it's picked up and going to be played by a pro Buzzkill. I'm excited because he's a fun hero to watch.
Yeah, and I think actually Fade is almost like the perfect hero for Reason. Like, they do a lot of early ganking, they have a lot of early sort of roam and aggression, and Fade is like the perfect hero to sort of set up these kills. The reflection is so strong. I mean, we used to see this hero picked up all the time, but after a few nerfs on the reflection and the bound eye, we haven't seen it that much. But the hero is still so strong, and I think it really fits Reason Gaming's sort of playstyle absolutely perfectly. And although they don't have, say, the strongest mid-initiator, say, from like Pebbles that sort of help him to the late game, they do have Vindicator and Drunken to sort of ensure that sort of late game potential, and Fade's just there to sort of help them in early to mid phases, just for like the ganking and roaming. So
yeah, good to that point. But no, it is definitely good seeing this hero because again, it's that level 11 mark. It's where he really starts to take off, especially obviously depending on the game. He's way behind, then not so much. But level 11 is obviously a big mark for him because it makes that reflection last forever, and the downtime is very, very little. And yeah, obviously a lot of burst potential coming out from him. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of build we see on him because this is one of those heroes that has potential to go Codex if the start is looking like it's pretty good. So obviously one of those fun items to also see. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's more of like a TMM build, though. Whenever we used to see Fade, I'm pretty sure they used to just run the portal key and say, like, the sheep stick or the hellflower or that.
We saw Codex, from what I recall. Like, I'm not saying we saw it every game, but it could have been, like, again, if you have a big start, I mean, why not amp that damage even more and just take them out? But yeah, the portal key, the tablet even, the Energizer, I'm sure could be possible because of some things like that, yeah. we'll see.
Yeah, it's just because like with the codex, that just ensures Fade's like potential to sort of take out supports or take out enemy heroes by himself because of that extra damage from the codex. But especially in like team games and the coordination is so much better, you can just add like another player to sort of go in for the gank, which just doesn't. You don't need the codex anymore, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because you can have like that extra sort of support in the gank, so you won't need the money spent on codex to get the kill.
You know, this is kind of a side topic as we're resuming back in right here, but I've been casting this game now for 5 years, and it's been a long time. You know, I have a lot of matches under my belt that I've cast and everything. Honestly, I'm kind of just noticing that the Hellborn and Legion text are reverse colors than what I think they should be. The Hellborn is actually green, and Legion text is red. I don't know why that's just hitting me.
Wait, what you mean?
Like, so when it says Hellborn has paused the game, Hellborn text is green. And then when it says Legion pauses the game, it's red.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that just, like, hit me. As,
Mind
like,
blown.
those are backwards. That's so crazy, man.
But yeah, so we see Willowkeeper going all 5-man into the jungle. It's just something they used to do all the time. They try and get any advantage they can, and it's a good strat. Like if there was like a stray, Vindicator or a Rhapsody out there, that was going to be a definite first blood here. But they are going to rotate back. They might even have the tri-lane up here actually instead, which I think they are going to do. I think, like I said, they might have run the jungle Magnus, which I thought they was going to do, but the reason why they started picking up this Magnus jungle is because it has the versatility to, if they need to sort of keep the Magnus bottom and jungle it, they can, but at the same time, if they feel the need to tri-lane, then they can as well, because Magnus is that sort of hero, because he can be able to do almost anything, because he's such a versatile pick. So they are going to keep the tri-lane up here, which I think is probably the better decision, but so they can sort of shut down the Vindicator. But the reason I've already spotted this out, they're going to send like the Drunken top and just dodge it completely and send the tri-lane down bottom in itself, which makes sense really. But I think the supports from Reason might rotate. We see Xantrox already rotating mid because he might realise something's up already. Yeah,
he's going to be heading towards that mid lane, going to be more of a dual lane mid against this Bubbles, and that should give Cracky on Bubbles a pretty difficult time if that actually stands. So yeah, we'll see what kind of adjustments are made from Willowkeeper here. That's what we see. So yeah, they went with the aggressive Fade tri-lane initially, obviously kind of breaking out from that, but now it's a Fade NG versus this Madman down here. Expect Fade to have a very good time, but Boxy playing this Madman at the same time. It's kind of just, I'm also kind of remembering, it's actually middle lane Bubbles. He's going to take some good harassment right here. Brain Drain also coming out, so as expected, a lot of damage going to be happening. But Boxy, this name, he's known for we saw him play Gunblade a couple of games. And he dominated with it, man. It was a lot of fun to watch. He just absolutely destroyed with Gunblade. So I'm liking to see this player again, basically, is my point.
Boxy is probably like the best player on Tree. Like his mechanical skill and just big plays, honestly, reminds me of like Mickey. He's almost like a Mickey himself. He's such a great player, especially in the laning phase. And trust me, this person or this player is so good. There will be big plays from him, no doubt, in this game.
Looking forward to it. Again, playing the Madman down here. Obviously, he can be one of those kind of heroes that could definitely get some decent last hitting here because of his skill set and also leech some experience as much as possible. So, for the time being, though, it's a 3-1 Fade versus a 5-3 Madman, actually. He's actually managed some pretty good farm. He picks up a Ring of the Teacher right there on top of it. So, is that surprising you that he's actually done so well to start here?
I don't know, like he's in the short lane and he's going against an engineer which isn't the strongest of boxing supports, but and also he's got the Madman, which is quite easy to get a few last hits with like the stalk and stuff. And I mean, like I said before, he's a really great player, so it doesn't really surprise me that he's doing this well. I mean, he probably should be doing a little bit worse, but I think with the heroes Reason have got, they're going to be quite hard to box him out in this bottom lane. Yeah. So.
You see top lane, obviously the creep ult going on, and you can see right here Willowkeeper actually the one farming it away, so an interesting tactic there. But Zane, he's just going to take the creep wave at the tower, also take some Valkyrie auto attacks apparently, as Baltazar is kind of poking in here. Just be careful not to aggro in the tower too much, though, obviously. That could be a big turnaround if he falls for that. But Valkyrie is having a good time. 12-5 farm right now for her. You do see Drunken Master managing 6-1, so he's got a couple of these last hits. In fact, picks up the last one right there with the stagger. But yeah, seeing a farming Valkyrie, that's another one of these things that kind of just realizing it's like, that's not something we see too often either, so interested to see how that progresses.
like Willowkeeper, their main sort of strategy is just really early sort of ganking and just sort of team fighting. They're just trying to get as many kills as possible. And Valkyrie's like almost like the perfect hero because yeah, she can carry, but her skill set is perfect for the early engagements that which Tree love to engage in. That's why I sort of said that they just sort of remind me of a BMG. They don't run the push as much so as BMG, but or bottom lane.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble right here. Rev 4 goes down. They're going to put in a couple more auto attacks. I don't know if it's going to be enough though. I think he might be fine. No, Fade has his stun, but yeah, Rhapsody coming in, cuts him off, so guaranteed. I mean, Fade did have a stun coming up anyway, so probably a kill, but that was damn close, actually, in the end. But yeah, that was just Boxy was up a little bit too far, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, and that's sometimes some people like criticise Boxy because although he's such a great player, he might be over ambitious or over sort of try and make the big plays or try and get as much as possible. He's not the safest of players, not the most reliable player, but like he can either do fantastic and almost win games single-handedly, or he can you know, drop back and just make a few misplays here and there.
Yeah.
Oh, top lane.
Yeah, top lane, Drunken Master. He's going to be fine, though. Magnus is getting in there, but obviously he was able to react to it. Magnus stun also pretty short range at the earlier levels. As he advances on, obviously he gets a little bit longer, but not able to get a range right there, so going to be fine as Drunken Master for now. Vindicator also having a pretty good start here, not too surprising, I guess. 23-13 against the Bubbles, who's 10-3, actually. Back to the bottom lane, though. Mammoth again in some trouble. The Red Fort's still there, so he should know that by now, but actually Mammoth, he's going to try to get away. He uses the barrel roll to slow down Fade a little bit, and actually might be able to pick up a turn kill here if Fade is not careful. He actually has stock up right now in because of Burning Shadow Cell. He's going to use the stock. Maybe no, he's saving for barrel roll. He gets the kill. He was saving the mana for barrel roll, figuring that would be the most damage.
Yeah.
And he was correct.
And that's what I mean. Like you wouldn't see like 80% of the competitive scene go for that kill, but that's the type of player Boxy is. Like he could have easily got away with just sort of stalking and running away, but no, Boxy goes for the big play almost 100% of the time, and this time it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but that's a really big kill. That was like Fade, the main farmer down here, like, the highest GPM, and he like if he didn't die there, he would have been on 400 GPM, and then he would be definitely snowballing and making a big difference for Reason. I said before that once Probus gets his farm, he can really open the map for Reason Gaming, and so that kill, although Boxy did die in the end, it's definitely worthwhile.
Yeah.
So well played for him.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that was entertaining to see. As he's again though in a little bit of trouble. No, I mean he's next to his tower, so they're not going to dive him. Obviously, they used Dust right there. But Boxy is going to manage to stay alive in the meantime. But, yeah, having the patience to save for that barrel roll. Like you said, even if he did sign, it wasn't a guaranteed getaway. So, if anything, it was just like, you know what, I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. And that's exactly what he did right there. So, you see the middle lane right here. Look at the positioning that Vindicator has. They know that, obviously, there's something up. And thus, he's standing in the river while farming creeps off to the side.
Yeah, he's got haste as well. I think he should be fine.
Yeah, he's more than fine here. So running to the bottom. Is there a rune? No, that's already been picked up. So was checking it out. But, I mean, Torture and Magnus are being very patient here in the middle lane. I don't know if they're actually going to get that opportunity. In fact, this might be it, actually. I mean, right now, Vindicator's diving. They're not reacting to it. Still just chilling. A little surprised it didn't actually go right there.
Yeah, I think they're just scared of getting turned on. They're like, Torture and Magmus only level 3, Vindicator's at level 6 now, as well as Rhapsody was backing up. Bubbles couldn't have really helped though, because he was getting dived himself. So if they did pop out from that little hole they were hiding in, that could have been even worse for them in the end. But even sort of staying off the map though, it isn't too bad because now it puts pressure on top lane and middle lane because they don't really know where these supports are. We see Rhapsody trying to put a rev ward down there, but he's not going to find the ward. But yeah, these two supports not being on the lane, it really puts pressure on the other lanes. Look at this Drunken Master. If he was 1v1 against this Valkyrie, he'd be putting a lot more pressure in our bottom lane.
Yeah, you see Fagan actually takes a good pressure right here with the creep wave in his face, but going to be fine in the end.
But yeah, it was going back to what I was saying, like Drunken Master, like if he was actually 1v1 against this Valkyrie, he'd be a lot more aggressive and getting the CS, even putting pressure on the Valkyrie. But as Torture and Magnus are off the map, it causes top and even middle to play a little more defensively, especially now Bubbles is level 6 now. So.
Yeah, I mean, this also is going to be really interesting to see how this game progresses here in the next, 5 minutes or so, because, I mean, both teams have potential to be really aggressive with these level 6s and whatnot hitting in the marks here. And, again, for now, though, there's been a little bit of movement, obviously, from Willowkeeper rotating in the middle lane. No gank successful, though. They come back top. Again, Valkyrie's just going to continue to farm. She actually picks up a life tube, which is probably going to turn into a Sustainer and eventually a Nullstone, I would think. I mean, I haven't seen a Nullstone in a while.
Yeah, I mean, they do have quite a few single target spells here coming out from the Hellborn side, particularly that Drunken Master Lunge. And Balthasar is one of those carries, actually, that he doesn't really go the most traditional item builds. He just sort of picks up what he feels is necessary. And I know where, like, Minut sort of got roles that, used to sort of do that kind of style. He just goes what he thinks is right and doesn't really pick up the normal items for the normal heroes. He just picks up what he thinks is right. And I think that it can work, really. It's his own playstyle and stuff, so...
Yeah.
And the Nullstone isn't bad here either, so, I mean, it's pretty what it's going to be, and it shouldn't be a bad item pickup.
Yeah. That's going to be intriguing to see how that works out. Again, yeah, the first thing you look at is obviously the abilities that it takes out. Yeah, the Vindicator ultimate is definitely one of those big things, but bottom lane, they're going to go for kill right here. Bubbles coming in, Calfield applied. Now he used Reflection. They don't have any vision. However, the stock, it hits, and the auto attack comes out. There's the Rev Ward. Also placed down, yeah, so it came a little bit late, but it did get the job done. And the kill at a fade. So there's that movement that I'm talking about.
Yep.
Coming out for the
yeah,
team.
and this is where, like, Tree, this is around like 9 to 15 minutes where they just try and set up ganks left, right, and centre. They normally just have Balthasar just having as much farm as they try and focus as much farm on Balthasar, and then with the other 4 heroes, they just try and make space for him and try and set up kills. It's kind of like a 4-1 strategy. Try and get as much farm on Balthasar while the other 4 heroes try and make sort of stuff happen around the map.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. I mean, speaking of racing game, and that's kind of what they were used to be known for. I mean, Boy, it was protected a lot and make sure he gets farm, but they've kind of gone away from that strategy a little bit lately. Top lane back. Oh, the Kexta missed. He did not walk back into it. He's hoping he would, and thus he leaps away and he's going to be fine. So you get the idea what Adro was going for there, but he just simply did not react to it. So in the end, he survives and going to stand his ground here. This will open up a little farm though from Drunken Master. It looks like. As he's finally going to get some room here to work with. But bottom lane, they're going back in once again. Haste and Magnus, he's going to stun an auto feed right here. In comes Rhapsody, though. Disco for no play. Burning Shells, it hit Torture in the background. I don't even know if that's planned, but it gets the job done. The chain reaction stuns Rhapsody, but she's going to be fine. But here comes Vindicator now. He has his final chapter, but just look at those auto attacks again. Magnus stuns, though. Again, he has ult if he needs to use it. Probably not for the time being, though. Brain Drain comes out. Madman wants to kill, but it comes at a cost. He does not even get the kill, and he ends up falling as a result. Bubbles, though, coming in. Kelvin is not up just yet. Shellsurf, though, will connect. This song going to see the auto attack gets the kill. The final chapter was just a second too late, and that's a big wasted cooldown right there coming out from Vindicator as Bubbles goes for the TP, but Fade stuns him coming out of the invis. They get the kill, but Magnus, oh, he missed a stun and a fade. It was just shy right there, and now Magnus is going to fall. Oh, that falls apart for Willowkeeper at the last second, but it looks like Torture is going to be fine at least.
Man, that's so unlucky. That was so close to taking him out there. But well played coming out from Probus, though. He was invis in the end, and saw Bubbles TPing, and Torture and Magnus sort of dropped off, and they just sort of, he could go in for the stun and stop Bubbles, and in the end, Vindicator, those Master Incantations actually top lane.
Yeah.
Gets picked
Collapse
up.
onto him. Yep, there's just simply, he got caught a little too far up, and 3 players being there, easy outnumber, so... Yeah, I mean, that was a big chance, though, for Willowkeeper. Again, like I said, Vindicator's ultimate being used and really not accomplishing a whole lot there, and that's a time to really capitalize. But it did backfire, and recent gaming was able to at least have some big plays happen, and then especially with that kill to Valkyrie at the top lane now. Overall, pretty good sequence for them in the end here. I was going to be curious, too, if Boy playing the Vindicator today, if his build was going to be a little bit, how different it was going to be. I mean, he goes to Tablet first, just like we saw Exhibit both times yesterday. So, will he go Assassin Shroud, though, is the question.
I hope not. I really hope not. But no, I was going to say that, actually, like, Willowkeeper and Reason are actually quite similar in the sort of game plan and game strategy. I know, like you said before, Boy, they used to sort of put as much farm as possible on him, and then the rest of the other 4 just try and set up ganks, etc. And that's kind of a similar strategy to Tree, actually. They like a lot of early aggression. They don't run a lot of junglers, actually. It's the same with Reason, actually. And so I guess in this sort of game, in this sort of matchup, it's going to see who can play the strategy better in the end.
Yeah. Boy, I still am a little surprised, too. Boy not getting a point in his Glyph of Silence yet either. I mean, not even 1 point. It seems like one of those 1-point wonder abilities, honestly. As far as being very useful, I mean, maxing out the W is like, is it really giving you a whole lot more at this point in the game? Can I would think you could sacrifice at least 1 point in that E, but I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I do know what you're saying, but the E is actually normally really good when you're trying to set up like a map objective. Say if you're like pushing the tower, you put that totem down, and then sort of you can safely take down the tower that way. But trying to like put it around when you're trying to gank it isn't the best, actually. Oh, middle lane.
They're trying to smoke Ink here, but I don't know. Vindicator, though, he's going to push up, actually. He might be in trouble. There we go. Magnus stuns in. He does have final chapter coming up. Predictability. Getting it off of time. No, he cannot. He Talbots away. The auto attacks. They can't take him out. The brain drains here. And a big turnaround for Reason Gaming. Final chapter not even needed in the end, as Torture goes for the random stun. Not going to hit. And he, too, is going to fall. Oh, man. That just completely backfired. That was so close to being so good for Willow
How
Keeper.
did he's so tanky, that Vindicator. I thought he was going to drop almost instantly, but he survived. But good TP coming in from Progress. That they would have not have gotten all those kills if he didn't rotate in. So well played from Progress. I mean, I've talked about how Reason aren't normally the best on trying to TP and sort of helping up on the counter initiate and counter ganks. But in this case, Progress does exactly what he needs to do. He's got his port key as well, so setting up those stuns is all he needs to do. And now as a result, they're so far ahead actually now, Reason Gaming. And there's not really much Willow Keeper can do. I mean, they don't have any way of really sort of pushing towers or even getting Concord that easily. So the only way they can really get back in this is if they get a few ganks, get a few pickoffs. But in the same time, Reason are going to be trying to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to be quite hard.
It's definitely more of a hindsight deal now, especially what just happened there. But that's where you also got to look at Valkyrie's build and be like, Nullstone is like really going to be the most impactful with a game progression like this. Drunken Master, though, he's going to be gone on. No, he's going to be fine. You see, Madman actually kind of playing a support here for Valkyrie in a sense, boxing them out, but they're not going to chase. So I don't know if that's miscommunication or what, but Boxy was going in, and the rest of the team wasn't really feeling it. Right there, so he kind of runs away. But yeah, going back to Valkyrie, though, again, this Nullstone, it's not necessarily a pure farming item by any means, but it's more of a farming tool than it is an actual, say, battle build, whereas, say, something like an Energizer, he would instead for earlier on to be a little bit more active. But actually, okay, he's going to be fine for now, as they pull the creep wave on accident right there. But, I mean, they do have a Madman with that set as well, so definitely their later game carry potential is most certainly there. But it's as far as the start here not looking the best, and you already see Faye, by the way, get the portal key here. Did he hit it? Okay, yeah, he did, but he's not going in there.
Yeah, I mean, like, Madman and Valkyrie obviously do have potential in the late game, but so do Vindicator and Drunken Master, even arguably harder than Madman and Valkyrie. So it's kind of like hard, like almost these two sort of teams and lineups are almost sort of mirror images pretty much of each other. I mean, talked about how they like to play sort of similar strategy, Willow Keeper and Reason Gaming, and at the moment I think Reason Gaming are just sort of it's kind of outplaying them in a sense, but also that their map movements are slightly superior. I know they set up a few more ganks. I know Adro and Saint Trux have had a few more successful ganks compared to the Torture and Magnus in this case. So.
Yeah. I was going to say that again, Fade with that portal key, obviously. That's a lot of good potential there, so it kind of answers that as far as what direction he was going to be going in for earlier on. Double damage rune top. He's going to be bottled up by Bubbles right here, Madman, or excuse me, Drunken Master. He's going to be going in, but he's going to be fine in the end. As Bubbles going to be porting somewhere. Where is he going?
Bottom.
He's going bottom? Okay, yeah, they're going to try to get a kill, yeah. But you see Vindicator already falling back as, okay, Bubbles canceled that, looks like.
They actually had a ward up top here coming out from Adro, and they saw the whole shebang.
Okay.
So, yeah. Oh, well, he's staying around. He might be in trouble,
Oh,
actually.
now he's in trouble, yep.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Double damage. There's the Kelfield Vindicator. Final chapter going to be used. So Magma's going to fall in the end. Oh, jeez. That's got to be so frustrating. Now, at least they will pick up the kill. But actually, top lane now, Valkyrie, can he leap away in time? He already used his leap. It looks like he has Prism, but he's not going to use it right here. He goes for the call to Valkyrie. Go for a turn kill to Drunken Master. But Drunken Master is going to survive in the end. But, yeah, that was the case of Magmas. He was trying to stun, but he can't stun against Vindicator when he ulties. That's the problem.
Oh, bottom lane. Touched it.
And there's Fade for you doing work. Oh, portal key away. And he leaves the illusion behind to get the job done. Now, Showstrip's going to come out, but he doesn't have any kind of stun, so he is going to be fine.
And that's the kind of hero that, like I said before, like getting those early pickoffs and just extra map rotation is a perfect hero for a reason. But I know Probux does like to play that kind of hero, just trying to gank in. It just frees up space for like the other sort of farmers coming out from Reason Gaming. And particularly just on a support Torture, although yeah, he's not getting anything, but at the same time he's going to be so far away from boots or even buying wards, so it's not, you know, bad getting like 3 kills where you can get them.
Yeah. I thought Vindicator, okay, no, he buys a Steam staff here, so again, I'm pretty sure that's going to be an Arcana. and not the Assassin Shroud. But we will see. Maybe Exhibit gave him some advice and was like, Assassin Shroud's good, or maybe he was just like looking at the last game, it's all Assassin Shroud on him or something. No, but it's probably going to be in Arcana here, I'm sure.
That's probably. Yeah, interesting iron pickup probably from Faye. He's going to be going for a puzzle box, actually. I know Probus does like to go this. I mean, I've seen him do it when he plays Gauntlet, actually. He picks up the portal key and then goes the puzzle box. And it's a good item, especially if you're sort of snowballing at the moment. The sort of low level and low mana supports are going to just absolutely be dominated by this puzzle box. Coming out from Probus, actually. And it does offer a little bit of pushing potential that they are severely lacking on, actually. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge item, and he also just hit level 11 right here again. That's that really big mark here for Fade, because the downtime and the uptime of the ability is very minimal, and then obviously at level 3 is where it's a 10-second in between. So that's where it's just absolutely ridiculous. But at this point especially, it's where it really starts to close the gap. So he's in a pretty good spot, to say the least. Again, for the Legion team, you can just continue to look at, where they can start to shine. I mean, Valkyrie is close to finishing Nulson, but again, it's not really that threatening item. Now, Arrow's going to hit Fade, though. This is a big chance. Vindicator is his ultimate up, it is not. The follow-up, though, is not going to be the strongest. Kelfield finally comes out, but it's not going to be enough. And now Bubble's in trouble. Energy Field is here. Everyone's here for Reason Gaming minus Drunken Master. There's the setup for Magnus at the last second. They might kill Engineer. No, they're protecting Melton. The team support is on fire here for Reason Gaming. And Willowkeeper just simply cannot get the kills.
Yeah, did you see that tablet of command come out from Imberboy? Put up Fusen on the uphill and secure the kill onto Torch Rage. Pretty well played. But yeah, going back to the great team support, everyone TP'd in, and this is what I've said before. Like Reason probably aren't the strongest team to do this, but they're really showing that they're improving their team play, and as a result, they're really far ahead actually. And I'm really sort of surprised and amazed that they're doing so well. And they've really improved on the areas they sort of needed to be that extra better team that they need to be. Yeah. If they want to sort of take out Zinc and BMG, etc.
Yeah. No, Recent Gaming, again, they most certainly have the capability, and they have before. And they, both yesterday and today, they are really showing. And again, yesterday wasn't even their actual team, to be fair. So it's like today, this is their actual team. They're starting 5, of course. And yeah, no doubt looking very good. So it is your classic case if you're Willowkeeper here. Welcome to the big leagues in a sense, but at the same time, you are playing against, obviously, again, a very good and a quality Recent Gaming team. But they're not playing too bad themselves. It's just so close to getting kills, but Recent Gaming doing enough to keep them alive. And actually now Madman, yeah, he's in trouble. As here we go with the stalking Fade. And this is what makes this hero so powerful as well. The fact that he can just run through trees. And it makes the path so much shorter compared to other stealth-like heroes. So, trying to get in range, but obviously Madman's feeling something up. And Madman, I know, at the same time, again, you look at his farm. He has Steam Boots, Power Supply, and Ring of the Teacher. That's not too good here as far as his presence being felt at this point. I mean, Nullstone is finished on Valkyrie, but yeah, Torture's dead. He has no items. Other than a minor totem, really, so. Oh, I mean, that was, again, close calls, man. It's so close. But so far. Arrow top lane? No, he's not going to get a kill, though.
This Fade, though, is really doing so much well. Like, he's just picking off so many heroes. And Willowkeeper have lost quite a bit of map control. They've lost their tier 1 middle and their tier 1 top. And they only have 2 wards here, one on the room vision and one in the mid. And Fade is like a perfect hero to sort of try and punish this, or bot lane. And Imboy's going to take the tower as well. He might be in trouble.
Yeah, the E right here is causing issues, and actually Magnus is going to be in trouble. There's a final chapter. It takes him out of the steam bath. He needs to get away. Valkyrie Prism is obviously still affecting, but in comes the dust. Bubbles is going to fall. Magnus off to the side. They know he's here, though. Brain Drain is going to be used most likely. There. Oh, he missed it, though. So actually Magnus might survive here in the end. Granted, he doesn't have a TP, and he's not in the best of spots, so this is awkward. Okay, Brain Drain misses again. Well, he's going to chill there for now. So he actually might be fine at the end because they might just give up and not hang around. But okay, so he's going to be fine. But Energizer is picked up by Madman. So again, more of an active item here as far as trying to make some plays with it. But you're already looking at a 16-4 hero kill advantage in favor of the Helper team. But more importantly, 8,200 gold lead, 8,000 experience lead. Magnus, is he trying to get away? Yeah, he tries to run away, but he runs right into Vindicator. And there you go. And then Fade finds Madman.
Yeah, he stunned out, but the Hellborn creeps were actually just spotted him, and as a result, Vindicator just walked up and finished him off in the end, and top lane. Fade gets his hands on boxing, manhandles him.
Oh boy, yeah, see a double damage fade is also very strong, and you also see the puzzle box that he's been finished, as you were talking about. So again, like I was going back to though, Valkyrie, you know, no stone aside, it's not like a threatening item here. It's not a like, oh no, that now we might be in trouble, because not really. It's just gonna be more farm. I mean, he picks up a quick blade here, but even that kind of curious. I mean, no fire blade I know isn't out of the question for something like a Valkyrie, but at the same time, probably gonna see more of the Geometer Spain progression here, I would think, in the end.
Oh, Engineer might be in trouble bottom lane.
Yeah, not going to kill on him at least. Kelfield comes out. He is by himself. Torture is not fast enough, though. He can't get here in time. So it's going to have to be Bubbles, but Engineer's completely out of mana, really. So as long as he lands the Shell Surf here, he's just going to take as much time as possible. But here comes Fade. Oh, no, Bubbles. If he doesn't kill him fast enough, one more auto-attack and gets the kill, but at what cost? Fade comes in, and down goes Bubbles. Well, at least Engineer kited him long enough to set up a counter kill. So well
yeah,
played.
that puzzle box is almost working like a Codex. It does quite a lot of damage.
It is, yeah.
And the Q spell coming up from the puzzle box wizard actually does like around like 225 damage, as well as the auto attacks actually, and also just like the extra map presence. And I remember when Fade got that nerf where she couldn't hold the bound eye, but this puzzle box almost does like a similar thing, obviously with the presence of Fade. So in that sense, I think this puzzle box actually is a really strong pickup on him actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, and especially again when he has a start like he's had this game, 390 gold per minute. Fade is just one of these heroes, like we were talking about, like we've seen many times before in the past. He can snowball and really set the tone for your team, and most certainly Probuzz has done that this game. So you see top lane, this is kind of a desperate situation for Willowkeeper almost. They're just going to send almost everyone top here and maybe try to make a play, but I mean Drunken Master falls back, so no kills on him. So now just not exactly sure where they plan to go, but maybe just keep this push going. But for the time being, obviously more spread farm coming out for Reason, including Immo Boy, who now has the Hellflower finish, so it did turn into that indeed. And they're kind of pushing out the middle lane here, and even Zane, I mean, he's not doing too bad.
Bubbles.
As Bubbles again, he dodges the Burning Shadows at least, that's big, but it's not enough. Maybe, actually. Oh my god, he lives. Well then, and actually this is a chance here. Now the E is down right here, the totem is down, there goes the stun for Magnus. Final chapter is going to be used shortly after though, and here comes a turret. Madman's going to fall. The stun in on a Valkyrie, he tries to leap away, gets the angle. Burning Shadows, it actually misses, it hits Torturer, but at least Valkyrie is going to live, so Torturer may fall in the end. But Valkyrie lives, but again, it's just continuing to be even a bigger and better lead for Reason Gaming at the same time.
Yeah, and I think at the moment Reason is so far ahead that even like a good engagement coming out from Willowkeeper is just not enough. You saw the turn potential with Engineer and the final chapter coming out from Vindicator.
Yeah. And
the stuns coming out from Fade are just so impactful, and Legion just don't really have any items. They've got items on the Valkyrie and Energizer and Madman and Magnus Falls as well, but a tablet on Bubbles, it's just not enough now. You got like luxury items on Hellborn. They've got like Hell Flowers, puzzle boxes, even closing in on Strong and Heads on Drunken Master, and they're too farmed really to take. It's a Strong and Head on Rhapsody.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like Reason are so farmed now that there's not much really Legion can do. They might just tap out and go for the second game, but I mean, it's so close and so tight that like Legion and Willowkeeper we're doing really well actually against its Reason game. It's just when they slowly start slipping ahead, it just turns into like a snowball, and there's just something like a freight train they can't stop. But I think they definitely have potential to take game 2 though. They just need to maybe it's like the first game they got a few nerves playing in the Pro League, and hopefully they calm them and do better in the second game. But yeah, they're still playing on here, so
again, like I said, it's their opening game, so you can't like look too much into it. There's still a long season ahead of us, including still in this series. So and actually they turned it on to Fade right there as he opened to kill Torturer. So that's definitely a favorable exchange in favor of Willowkeeper, but. To say the least, we're going to need a lot more of that. And actually, this could be the beginning of something here. Vindicator's going to be caught. He doesn't have his final chapter. He puts the totem down, though, and that is going to be doing enough as well as team support. Magnus stuns in. He uses the Brain Drain. The Shrunken Head, Drunken Master, and cuts a Protective Melody from Rhapsody. Not only the biggest, though, to be honest. Not a whole lot of damage coming out. As Magnus is telling up the eruption in the background, but it didn't really have the best angle right there. So now he's in trouble. He stuns it. He gets the kill to Rhapsody, actually. But he's in a lot of trouble all of a sudden. He's going to try to run away. You kind of have Valkyrie nearby to maybe be able to support if you can get over here. And actually, if he lands an arrow, they might be able to turn this even. As Magnus stuns out, he's going to go for the TP. Should be fine? Yes, okay. So at least he escaped. So, I mean, a couple of decent kills there for the Legion team at least, but they did lose 3 themselves overall in the end, so
yeah,
not too good.
And you saw like the weakness of Magnus without a portal key. He started chaining the Eruption, he just couldn't get anything off her, and that's why we normally see, or you normally see Willowkeeper run the jungle Magnus, because they do get a portal key on him so quickly. They're normally around like 280 GPM, and for a second support for like 280 GPM, sorry, like around like 5 to 7 minutes is actually really, really good. But yeah, you saw like without the portal key, this Magnus is almost dead weight other than his Lava Surge stun being used.
Valkyrie is probably dead here. You see, Fade has just been sitting on him. He opens with the auto attack. There's the portal key after the leap. He dodges the Burning Shadows. Baltazar going to do his best to make a getaway. Now the Nullstone takes away the lunge right there. He's going to live. Okay, so that was a very big sidestep. If it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have lived there most likely. So he actually buys that Blessed Orb. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to see the Puzzle Box Wizard's Q. I can't remember the spell to get rid of the Nullstone and then the lunge being used for Drunken. But not the biggest of issues really. But a kill missed is a kill missed in the end.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be the biggest of issues. They could easily just sort of counter ward Conga, even though Legion don't have any vision, and just take out Conga, I think. And even just push. They're so far ahead now, 15,000 gold and 17,000 XP. Magnus is nowhere near his portal kit, and that's like a big item. They need to have their team fight at least have some kind of weight for Willowkeeper here.
Yeah, I mean, Valkyrie, her farm is actually pretty damn good, 380 gold per minute, continuing to be pretty impressed by that overall. I mean, he has a Geometer's Bane on the way, but it's just the team follow-up, and when you're going against this Vindicator especially, he just locks down so much of your team in these fights, and meaning their assistance isn't going to be the best other than right-click, so that's obviously the biggest deal right now, I think. Fade actually sees them use the Valkyrie Prism right there because he was invis on top of them, so I don't think this Valkyrie Prism gank is going to be the most effective in the end. In fact, Bubbles, he might be in trouble. Bound Eye Engineer seeing him, and you see that rotation on the mini-map. Reason Game and making their way down here, but no, Bubbles is going to be just fine, but they're going to go for Conga instead. And making a point right here that there's probably nothing Willowkeeper can do to stop this, even if they know what's going on. And I think they're right. I mean, is Willowkeeper even going to attempt this? Probably not.
They might just say, oh, let's try and take a team fight. If we lose, then we CC. If we win, then they're still hoping this game. To be fair.
I mean, okay, Fade open, but no kill.
They couldn't have really got down. That Conga dropped so quickly anyway. And a Frostfield play coming out from Vindicator. We didn't see that actually in Game 1 or Game 3 last game, actually. It's a good item.
It is.
Bottom lane. That was dead.
Yep. He's got caught in a tough spot there. So again, his Portal Keeper is still not the best. But yeah, no, Frostfield play, it's a very good item for you like Vindicator. I mean, it's honestly a damage buff for him because of the intelligence. And thus his Master's Incantation. And also it's just extra help on the tankiness. So why not?
I mean, obviously, it's only going to be mainly useful against, say, the Madman or the Valkyrie when it goes into the late game because it's adding armor. But the actual sort of damage sort of burst. I know it's only 200 magic damage, but it does make a difference though when you sort of activates it as well as the movement slowed as well. So it's a good item, and the extra intelligence obviously is a big thing for Vindicator because of his Master's Incantation. All Ancients.
It's got to be so frustrating playing against. This Fade here. As actually, Final Chapter was used right there to also help Fade escape. I mean, that was interesting.
Bubbles would have used Kelpwood otherwise. Actually, Madman on Engineer.
Okay, well, there you go. At least they save for it. And they actually get a Bound Eye out of it, so not too bad. Willowkeeper can be pretty happy with that. And the top tower push. I mean, Willowkeeper's still grinding this out, man. There is still some hope. And they're going to make sure of that. Easily. But Valkyrie might be in trouble top lane. Uh-oh, Fade's on top of him. Here we go with the opening. Here come the TPs. Look at that damage. The Puzzle Box minutes. He gets a Nullstone activated. There's the jump from Fade, trying to get the Fidget for anything, but no, he couldn't lunge in there.
Yeah, the lunge didn't have enough range in the end. But no, they are definitely holding on. But I think the reason they're not going as 5 and taking a team fight like down the middle lane. They're just getting picked off here and there. So. Yeah. But I mean, you never know what could happen though.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to see them still hanging in there. It's not like it's a completely stomp that was just their trolling at this point. I mean, it's still definitely a game. I mean, Valkyrie is getting a lot of farm. And Madman still is there. He's going to have a Shrunken Head here, and that's a big item against this Vindicator, obviously, and in general.
Yeah, and we saw yesterday that I thought the reason sort of team fight was it was a lot superior, especially after they got the shrunken heads against Zinc's Engineer Flux Magnus combo, and yeah, they still ended up taking team fights for whatever the reason, and so it's definitely possible, even if they are quite far behind.
And Portal Key coming, man. 1,700 gold on Magnus, so he's almost there. His GPM is not the greatest, but hey, once he gets that Portal Key, he's done a lot in that sense of he's going to be a lot more impactful. He's farming up the top lane. He's actually very close to it right now, but they're pushing the middle lane here in the meantime, so this is obviously that tough spot to be. Now, final chapter is still on cooldown, so this is actually a pretty good chance here for the Legion team to make a play if they want to go for one. Magnus, though, he's still just shy of that Portal Key. He's still pushing it on the top lane. Their melee racks is falling, though, however. Drunken Master kind of pushing up. Kelfield comes out. Okay, Magnus, he's going to die. No, he's actually going to live here in the end. But back to the base of the Legion side. There goes the melee racks, and here we go. The chase is on. They catch right there, Bubbles. He's dead off the bat. Magnus is here with the Portal Key, but he is still regenerating currently. There goes the range racks taking a lot of damage. And unless they can catch this Vindicator, again, he has a token of life. So they don't want to go all out by any means. Fade jumps back in a big Burning Shadow stun. Torture goes out. There's Magnus in the back row with a stun. But now he's in no man's land. He's going to fall. And so much for that Portal Key being the most impactful in the end. So they tried, but I think Reason Gaming now is going to be a little too strong here.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still a good show coming out from Willowkeeper. I mean, they sort of show that they definitely have potential in the Pro League, and there is the GG Ball played. And I definitely think they have potential in Game 2. So, like, it was just in the early sort of laning phase when there was like around like 7 to 8 minutes where the kills were just happening in front of Reason, and in a sense, like Tree were getting slightly unlucky, like a few auto attacks, missing to sort of miss a few kills, or just about another hero coming out to end up killing them and stuff. So it was definitely close, but in the end, Reason did take it, and I think Game 2 is it could be definitely be different.
I